After starting the season 0-9, you finish with 5 straight wins. Raise expectations. You have this great momentum. How do you carry that into this season?
Well, I think our team got a lot tighter at the end. Going through what we did to start was, I think, a huge challenge. When you start 0-9 to finish 6-10, it's funny. I learned that's the way to get people excited about 6-10 because it seems like we did a lot better because of the way we finished. But our team really believed, and I haven't been on too many teams that haven't been playoff teams to where you go in on a Monday at the end of the year and no one wants to leave. Everyone's kind of hanging around because we got a lot of confidence, but that gives you hype and things like that, but it really doesn't mean much. You got to start over when the group gets back. You got to work to rekindle that. It won't feel the exact same in April that it felt in January. It'll be different, but the more you work together, you bring in some new guys, whether it's free agency, the draft picks, and you just start grinding together, and it eventually happens, and you get right back to work. With
Jimmy Garoppolo, he starts 5 games for you, 7 overall in his NFL career. How nerve-wracking was it to pay him $137 million?
It's not nerve-wracking at all. It just is
what
it is.
Well,
yeah, it's hot in here, but no, that's just what it is. I mean, when you have, everyone wants to talk about the money and stuff, but if you believe you have a franchise quarterback, the money is, to me, it's just what they cost. I mean, unless you can draft one and have them that way for 4 years or 5 years, I mean, eventually if you have one of those top 10 guys that everyone's looking for, if you want one, you got to pay him.
Well, you got him for a second-round pick. That was a pretty good deal, wasn't it?
I felt very good about that.
Yeah. So at what point, though, Kyle, at what point did you say, boom, end the organization? This is definitely a franchise quarterback.
I think it started to happen more towards about the 3rd game for me personally. I knew he was talented like a franchise quarterback, but I personally thought when we got him that it would be impossible for him or for us to come to that conclusion over 5 games, especially with where we were at as a team. And him not having any familiarity with the offense.
Right.
I didn't think there was any way he could go in and show that, but each game he got better and better. And then versus Houston, he started off slow. That was the 2nd game. But the way he played for the next 3 quarters, and then he followed that into Tennessee. And it was really after the Tennessee game that you realize, all right, no one gets lucky like this each week. All right, this is who he is, and we're very excited to work with him.
Well, it was a different system for him. New language, really,
yeah.
Right? And what was interesting to me is you had him on the bench watching, and he was suited up, ready to go. He was active, but you weren't playing him.
Right.
So what was your philosophy? What was your mindset? I'm going to play him when what?
When we felt he was ready. And that's
it had nothing to do with the other guy's performance?
It had to do with that, too. I mean, CJ, we thought was playing very well, and we threw CJ in some positions he wasn't ready for. But he got thrown into it, and he had to. And I was very proud of how CJ, or excited how CJ played.
You got a heck of a backup quarterback there, don't you?
I know we do, and I think he's going to be a very good player. And he led us to that win versus the Giants.
Right.
Then we had the bye week. The ideal time was to put Jimmy in after the bye week. But we had just won our first game of the year the week before that. CJ played his best game of the year, and I was going to come back from the bye week and change that. So we're going to see how it kept going. And then as a team, we played really bad the next week. We were 1-10 at the time. And even though we didn't feel Jimmy was quite ready to be put in there, it was time to see, and the team wanted to see. I know our fans did. Everyone wanted to see, and it was time. So I was nervous for him because I knew he wasn't totally ready. He knew it, but he was up for the challenge. He went in, enjoyed it, and got better each week.
I'm just so curious, what's the difference in feeling in San Francisco, around the team versus, it was really sort of a tale of 2 halves, right?
Yeah.
The way you started the season and the way you finished. What are some things that you see around the city about, rallying around the team and the excitement?
Well, yeah, I mean, you hear it. People are a lot more excited. I can't explain to you the difference in just the atmosphere in the last game of the year compared to the first game. I'm playing Jacksonville on Christmas Eve. We're out of the playoffs, and we don't have a chance to go to the playoffs. And I think at the time we had 4 wins. And, it's Christmas Eve, Saturday night. I'm not expecting many people to be there. And that was as loud of a stadium as I've been at. And, I'd heard a lot of things about, the fans don't come to the new stadium, it's different. And no, we just had to start giving them some things to cheer about, and they were unbelievable. And so that second half of the year, you could feel it. Our players felt it, and it was a lot more fun going to that stadium.
You did a heck of a job in your first year, and I will tell you, the Bay Area is buzzing about your 49ers. And then you got Gruden across the Bay, and they're buzzing about that. I think the Bay Area football is back with the Raiders and the 49ers.
We're excited.
Well
We're
done,
enjoying it.
Kyle.
Great seeing you.
Thanks for coming on.
All right, thanks.